I make jokes?
Yeah.
That's news.
Beep.
Beep. Beep what?
Beep.
What are we beeping? I can see!
I know. Sorry, I had the thing up, but I like forgot that you didn't have it. Hey, look, it's you.
I figured that you forgot I didn't have.
You just weren't gonna say anything about it?
I wasn't gonna say anything until you actually got into the game and expected me to read the line.
I caught it before it got to your line.
That you did. That was good.
I'm a little bit more reliable than that. Sometimes.
Yeah, I'm the unreliable one.
Sometimes.
Are you up, Cora?
Oh, I forgot we named her Cora.
It's
forgot
not
that too.
space!
Forgot about that too. That voice. It's Karamia's. Yeah. I'm bad at this. Okay. Good morning, Mr. Karamia.
Morning. Did you sleep well?
Yes, like a baby. Are you sure it's okay to lend me such a lovely room?
Of course. After all, we had it set up just for you, Signorina.
For me?
That used to be a storage shed. We couldn't exactly make you spend the night in a mansion full of men, now could we?
Oh, well, thank you very much for everything.
I'm just glad you're happy with it. I imagine you're hungry. We can have breakfast in the mansion while I show you around.
Why did I give Cora such an annoying voice?
I don't know. You can change it if you want. We're not stuck into voices.
Yeah, but it suits her too well. That sounds wonderful. Am I wrong?
As much as we're like, oh, this is their voice, like, we can change whenever we want. It's not like we're actually recording this to put into the game.
Oh, of course not.
So
They would never hire us.
I would be surprised if one of us got hired to voice act.
I'm just like...
That'd be too professional for us.
Oh, no, we would never. In the first place, we wouldn't be auditioning, probably.
No. No. Only if, like, a friend was making a game and they're just like, can you just voice this character for us? And be like, how stupid do you want to make it?
No, I'm like, I think... Unfortunately, I feel like Cora's voice is so annoying. But also, I think it suits her.
When you enter from the front door, immediately to the right is the kitchen, and to the left is the living room. Please feel free to make use of the common areas. The rooms you can see from the hall belong to me and my subordinates. They're private areas, so get permission before entering, understand?
Yes, I do.
The room way at the back is my office. I spend most of my time in there when I'm in the mansion, so don't hesitate to drop by. Oh, also, Karamia pulled the key from his pocket with a red ribbon tied to it and handed it to her. This is the key to the bathroom in this hall. We had it set up for company, but it hardly gets any use, so take it for yourself, Signorina.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. Someone should use it. But like I said before, only men live in this mansion. You wouldn't want to bump into someone in the bathroom, right?
Oh, you're right.
You wouldn't want to walk into a guy in the bathroom or vice versa, do you?
Gender neutral bathrooms, 2020, let's go.
This game wasn't made in 2020.
I know.
This is the kitchen. All the food and cooking is handled here. You're welcome to take your meals in other rooms, but make sure you return your dishes. Boss. Oh, Axel, done with breakfast already? Axel nodded slightly in response. What? I thought we were going to eat together.
Mr. Axel, thank you for last night. ...
Axel puts his hand on his chin and cocked his head slightly. A few moments later, he furrowed his brow and shook his head. I don't recall doing anything deserving of thanks.
Well, you showed me to my room.
I was just following orders. Axel looked away and slipped past Karamia. What's with him? It's out of character for him to be acting so shy.
Huh? He's being shy?
You couldn't tell? I thought it was obvious.
He just seems angry to me.
Well, I guess it would look that way to someone who doesn't know him very well. Well, you'll get to know him soon enough. Come on, let's get some food.
Typing?
Yeah,
Type. Good morning, Karamia, Miss Cora. Oh, Mr. Kyrie, good morning.
What? You just woke up?
Yes, today is Sunday. I have no reason to get up early, unlike a certain stupid lion.
Well, excuse me for being stupid. Kyrie sliced a loaf of rye bread Karami had abandoned. He took a plate and glass from the cabinet, setting the bread on the plate and placing it on the dining table. Taking a seat in the chair next to Ramya, he put the empty glass on the table in front of him, before pointing at the pitcher of water in the middle of the table.
Ramya, pass the water, please.
What do you even have those arms for? Despite his complaints, Ramya took the pitcher and filled Kyrie's glass for him.
Thank you very much.
You certainly are a lot of trouble for a consigliere.
Please don't say things to tarnish my reputation in front of women. It's rude, don't you agree, Miss Cora?
Cora, you don't have to indulge him. He's always causing trouble. Ramya stood up and started stacking the empty plates, because apparently they finished eating already. Cora stood up too to help, but he gestured at her to sit back down.
Well, it seems preferable in comparison to a bore like Karamia. By the way, Miss Cora, have you decided on your plans for the day? My plans for the day? Yes. Do you intend to spend your precious Sunday cooped up in the mansion? Precious? Is today a special day or something?
What?
Are Sundays special days or something?
Why, yes, we go to church constantly. Oh, I guess we need to explain that too. You know that this town is controlled by several famiglia, right? The famiglia quarrel over territory from Monday through Saturday, but Sunday has been declared a day of peace. We call it the Sunday Compromise. Consequently, even if you were to wander off on your own today, you wouldn't be in danger.
You don't know the area, so it might be wiser to stay inside. But it's up to you, alright? You're saying I'm free to walk about town? Yes, exactly. I'm free, huh? I wonder what I should do today.
Hey, Brain, what are we gonna do tonight?
Same thing we do every night.
What's that?
Meet with Karamia?
Bake a loaf of bread?
Hmm?
No, we're not going after Karamia.
Oh, was it Axel? That's right.
You changed the order.
I forgot. Maybe we
But
should have
I-
just done first run through as whatever options we like, and then see where that gets us.
I mean, but who do we like?
I mean, I know who I like, but I also like saving the people I like for last, so.
I say we
Although
stick
Hustle
with
Cat just worked out that way.
I say we stick with the order we've set.
Okay.
So pick Axel.
I do not have it memorized, I'm sorry.
Got it memorized.
No, I don't. They said
Too
I could
bad.
visit the town, but...
She'd been shown around a bit, but she was hardly even familiar with the Oz Mansion.
I'd probably just get lost if I went outside.
Setting out to explore her new home, she began wandering around the first floor.
So this is the living room.
She checked each of the rooms, recalling what Karami had told her.
This is the first room I saw when I came here. I woke up on the couch, and then Mr. Axel... Huh?
Axel was lying face up on the couch, sleeping.
But that was our place to sleep!
His arms were crossed and his brow furrowed. He looked no different from when he was awake. Look at his face.
Okay, bye.
Look at his face.
I'll just be careful not to wake him.
She walked around behind the couch and put her hands on the back of it to peer at his face.
He's sound asleep. I guess he must be tired.
The little noise he made startled her, making her jump. But he hadn't woken up. All he did was turn over.
That really startled me.
She put her hand on her chest and let out a sigh. Only then did she notice his suit jacket on the couch.
He might catch a cold like that. I'll cover him so he won't get sick. A blanket would be better, though.
She looked around the room, but the blanket they'd covered her with before was gone. Without any alternatives, she picked up his jacket and approached him.
Shake, 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 fall.
Punch to the face! Something suddenly yanked hard on her arm, pulling her forward. It all happened so fast she couldn't figure out what was happening. She felt something springing against her back. Just as she realized she tumbled over the couch, there was a thump and a sharp pain at the back of her head.
She tripped on a couch?
I've almost done it before. Ah! Ah!
Face!
What do you think you're doing? When she came to, Axel was in front of her. He was close enough that she could have reached out and touched him. Had he not been restraining her hands?
I was just trying to help.
Help? His eyes, cold like metal, gazed down at her.
I
That's not creepy.
was just trying to help by putting that jacket on you.
How is that helping? Just needless meddling. He tightened his grip on her wrist. Now that's not weird.
Why does he have a band-aid under his eye?
I don't know.
Cool earring, though.
You aren't part of the famiglia, or our territory. Which means, as long as I claim self-defense, I can do anything to you without fear of punishment. Keep that in mind in the future. He snatched his jacket from her and stood up. I don't approve of you. In fact, I prefer it if you left. There's no point in taking care of you.
Mr. Axel.
Got it memorized.
But wait, Mr. Axel, I don't have it memorized. Oh, it's evening already. Mr. Kramia said we'd be having dinner soon. Maybe I'll walk around town a little bit.
She walked down the street, admiring how the setting sun dyed the scene a vibrant orange, even as she kept one eye on where she'd come from. Eventually, the road of red brick ended in a big plaza. Why not yellow?
I was gonna say, red brick? Why is it red?
Because the yellow brick was stained with the blood of all the men they killed.
Fair enough.
It was filled with people just relaxing and enjoying themselves. Who this?
Who says Signorina?
What a lovely Signorina you are. Oh. I have some delicious bread. Interested? She turned around to see a friendly young man carrying a box. I forgot I was narrator for a second.
Oh no, Oh.
Your stomach started growling right on cue. I'll give you a free sample. How about it?
A sample. But I'm sure Mr. Karami and the others are preparing dinner for me. Thank you, but I'll have to pass.
That's okay. Well, next time then. He bowed and then ran off.
Vroom, vroom. He really startled me. I never thought someone would try to talk to me.
Why do you...
She's really clumsy.
Why do you keep walking into everyone?
She's really clumsy, apparently.
As clumsy as Avery is dumb?
Yep. Also as dumb as Avery is dumb. Actually, even dumber than Avery is dumb, if possible.
Do we know this one?
Yes.
ごめんね、真後ろに人がいると思わなくってさ。ね、立てる?
The young man held out his hand. She took it and they got up together.
よいしょっと。ねえ、どこか怪我してない?
No, I'm fine.
よかった。女の子を怪我させちゃまずいもんね。君、名前は? で、俺から名乗るべきかな。俺はそう。で、君の名前は?
I'm Cora.
I'm So-So.
困ったな。
I said I'm So-So.
Okay, kid.
この町の人の顔、大体覚えてるはずなの
It's
に。
a bad joke.
君のことは全然わかんないよ。
Uh-huh.
I never said I'd do good jokes.
It's only natural that you wouldn't be familiar with me. I just recently...
最近?
Is it a good idea to tell him the truth? I moved here recently.
あ、今のは嘘だね。
Huh?
顔に嘘をつきましたって書いてあるから。
Huh? Really?
いやいや、例えなんだけど、やっぱり嘘をついたんだね。ダメだよ、嘘は。そういうことされると悲しいよ。
I'm sorry.
怒ってないからそんな顔しないで。嘘をついたってことはそれなりの事情があるってことだよね。
Yeah, a giant wolf trying to kill her.
Yes. I don't remember anything from before I came here.
記憶が?
Yes. When I came to, I was lying in an alley and a man named Caesar was chasing me.
へえ。
Right now, Famiglia Oz is taking care of me.
そっか。君って変わってるね。
I see. You really are strange. Am I?
だって嘘をつくぐらい隠したいことをペラペラ話しちゃったんだよ。初対面の相手にさ。
Make up your mind! I'll be more careful from now on.
I'll be more careful from now on. Why he not read his line?
I didn't see it. There's no voice clip there.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. There aren't only good people in the world. Oh, maybe that's weird for someone you've only just met to say. But I think you're a good person, Mr. So. Really? You really think that about me? Yes, you've been so kind and you're looking out for me.
That's weird.
Now we're acquaintances. Maybe it's a good thing I ran into you. Maybe it was.
うわ、もうこんな時間。そろそろ帰って晩ご飯の準備をしないと。
I guess his voice is back. He just, lost his voice for a little while. I should go home too. Goodbye, Mr. So.
He gave her an enthusiastic nod and turned to leave Oz territory. However, he turned back around as if he just remembered something.
ああ、そうだ。俺のこと、そうさんっていうのやめてくれない？
Oh, then what should I call you?
そうだけでいいよ。あと、言葉遣いも普通でいいから。よそよそしいのって好きじゃないんだ。
I understand.
じゃなくて。
Okay.
正解。俺、毎週日曜、この場所で店を開いてるんだ。今日はもう閉めちゃったけど、よかったら来週来てよ。
Yeah, I will.
絶対だよ。
Wait, I missed what he said. What? Does he run a shop? Oh, he set up shop here every Sunday. What does he sell?
Didn't say.
じゃあね、また会おうね。
What, you expect the dialogue to actually give you information or something?
Yes!
Don't be absurd.
Oh, if it isn't the Signorina. What's up? Couldn't sleep?
No, I slept well enough. I woke up early and took a stroll in the garden. It's so pretty.
Yeah, it's Kyrie's pride and joy. That said, he's not the one who actually takes care of it. The soldati and I water the flowers when we find the time.
Oh,
Kyrie loves it, but it's my doing.
can I help too? The garden's closer to the cabin than the main house.
Oh, that'd be a lot of help. Thanks, Signorina.
Mr. Karamian?
Oh, sorry. Petting little creatures is a bit of a habit of mine.
As a former literal animal.
He's not actually a lion, is he?
They are the characters from The Wizard of Oz.
Are they the literal characters made human?
Unclear.
Like, that's the thing of, if they are, like, the literal, like, lion made human, that's weird.
Unclear. All I know is that they have memories of, like, traveling with Dorothy.
Interesting. Although, it's terrible of me to call you little. You are a lady, after all. What? Nothing?
Sorry, I lit a stick on fire.
Stop setting your house on fire, jeez.
He's just trying to light a candle, but then the wick
Sure.
disappeared, and so I've been trying to put a new wick. It's not working very well. So the candle I was using to push the wax around, or the stick I was using to push the wax around in the candle, caught fire. Oops.
Monday morning. The estate was busier than it had been the day before. Cora passed by the men heading out for the day as she made her way to the kitchen for breakfast.
Maybe I should take narrator from you after all, for at least for a while.
For the trial, you think?
Maybe, because I feel like you have so many more lines than me. I feel bad.
Kramia's been speaking, like, constantly.
Yeah.
Like, Kramia, don't shut up!
Yeah. And Cora only says dumb things.
I mean, it's up to you.
We
can do rotating narrator if you want.
We can swap every other line, yeah.
Okay. that would make so confusing.
I will make it confusing. But you know what? Who says that we make sense? And can you please send whoever says that to a doctor? Because clearly they're wrong. And that means they're very sick.
I mean, you make some sense. You have a job.
No, I have a job because the things I work on make no sense.
So then you make sense.
Good morning.
She said softly to the empty room as she got herself some bread and milk. Taking a seat in the same chair she had the previous day, she started eating by herself.
Yesterday was a day of peace. Which means that now there might be fights between the famiglia until next Sunday. When I met Mr. Kramia and the others, I did see a bunch of people with weapons. I wonder if they actually used them.
Stab?
No, they had guns, remember?
Morning. Come here on your own today, huh?
Mr. Kramia!
She looked up and shifted slightly to face him. It seemed he had come for breakfast as well. I assumed you would have been more shy since this mansion is full of men, but I guess not. Kramia gently touched Cora's shoulders before going over to the sink.
I had assumed that you would be too shy to feed yourself when hungry, apparently.
So now I will touch your shoulders
It'd be
before
creepy.
getting food.
Creepy.
He plucked an orange from a basket of fruit and rinsed it off before taking a plate and knife out of the cabinet.
I'm sorry, I just made myself at home.
Oh no, it's quite alright. I'm happy to see you're getting comfortable. He took a seat next to her, orange and plate in hand. As he cut into the fruit skin, a citrusy scent filled the room. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Axel. ...
Axel glanced at Cora, but that was it. Morning, Sir Sleeps a Lot. I do not sleep a lot. Kramia tossed the still unpeeled orange at Axel. As he caught it, a few errant droplets of water splashed against his cheek.
And we paid attention to the couple of droplets of water that splashed against someone's cheek.
Because... Aloe? Question mark?
Question mark?
Eat it. I bought it at the market this morning. I'll have it later. Axel wiped the water off his face, but the back of his hand as he returned the orange to the fruit basket. With the back of his hand as he returned the orange to the fruit basket. Crossing his arms, he leaned against the wall. When are you heading out? When I finish eating. Is there a reason I need to wait in here? There is. Join us at the table. He passed by both Cora and Kramia and set his hand on the back of the furthest chair away from them. A little closer.
Why is he winking?
Flirting.
With his,
subordinates.
what was the word? Capo-regime?
Yeah, capo regime. Something like that. Axel took a single step over, only to pull out the second farthest seat away.
Well, he did say a little closer.
He did. No, the seats across from us are all open. Cromie tapped the table in front of him. Dot. Axel let out a big sigh, and he sat down directly across from Cromie, diagonal to Cora. What? Why are you so on guard around the Signorina? It's only natural to be on guard around an unfamiliar person. Well, I guess that's true. That said, I don't think she's going to bite. We're living together, so we might as well relax around each other, right? You're an idiot. Axel gave Cora a sideways glance that lasted less than a single second. What am I going to do with you?
Maybe whoever's in the scene, we should swap it for a narrator.
I have 3 characters now! Ow, my butt.
Unless you want them all.
I'm sorry, Cora. He's a very guarded person by nature.
Oh, it's fine. He's right. You don't know anything about me. I understand how Mr. Axel feels.
Signorina, you're so much more mature about this than some people. Dot. Axel rested his elbows on the table and gazed determined at the wall.
Mr. Cromie,
Don't let him bother you. He's always like this. More importantly, we need to discuss our plans for the day.
plans for the day?
Yeah, I was thinking Axel and I should show you around Oz territory. How's that sound? That sounds wonderful.
It's like, oh, which degree of flirting should we choose?
What about Mr. Kyrie?
What if only you
What?
showed me around? God.
That sounds wonderful. Well, that sounds wonderful is just like,
That sounds wonderful.
that's not specifically flirting at any one person.
It's not. That's the only one.
Good. We'll show you around this town we're so proud of. Right, Axel? Yes, sir.
Mr. Axel doesn't seem very enthusiastic about this.
We're gonna die. Just as that thought occurred to her, her eyes met Axel's. I follow my orders.
Huh?
If the Don ordered me to marry you, I would obey. Understand?
What?
Cora gave a vague response, unable to discern Axel's intent.
What?
Axel's intent was, yeah, I'm gonna listen to him because he's my boss. Like, there was no flirting involved in that. It was bluntly saying,
There
I
was
listen to
not.
my-
But something. He said marry. He's gonna marry us. Read your line so we can get this over with.
Cromie leaned against the back of his chair and smiled as he watched their exchange. Why do you have to use such a roundabout expression to say, don't worry about me? ... But like,
Cora dumb. Like I said, Cora might be even dumber than Avery, amazingly.
the area is covered in red brick or our turf.
Actually, no, there's just different brands of dumb. Because
They're
Avery
just-
has dumb ideas, and Cora just is dumb and doesn't get things.
Yeah. I've read the line.
I know.
The
I was
main
yawning.
street in front of the mansion is obviously Oz, but the rest of this area is too.
All of this.
Cora stopped in the middle of the street and looked over at her surroundings, about to get run over. The street was bustling, and the faces of the people coming and going were cheerful. There were no armed men to be seen anywhere. The atmosphere didn't feel very different from Sundays at all. Cromie got closer to her as he returned the greetings of the townspeople. So, what do you think?
I expected it to be scarier. Like a fight could break out at any moment.
Fight!
I think it's much more relaxed and peaceful than I'd imagined. I think it's wonderful.
I don't know why, but my brain went to The World Ends With You. Probably because of the Japanese name.
What was it again? Subarashii kono sekai wa. Something like that.
Isn't it, like, isn't the translation, like...
It's a Wonderful World?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? He gave a boyish smile and patted her on the head because he can't stop patting her.
Pat, pat.
I'm happy to hear you say that. It's not like we carry weapons because we like using them. We just like murder. Our main job is to protect our territory from outsiders and to mediate fights. It's unlikely that you'll get caught up in a fight within our territory, so don't worry yourself.
Okay.
Okay!
Okay.
Okay there, Crow.
Okay. They're both
Excuse me.
stupid and overly cheery.
But only one of them's part scarecrow.
Not until later.
Excuse me, sir. Regarding the Wolf Gang, your assertion that it is completely safe here is not entirely accurate. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Wolfgang?
Yeah. Beethoven? Yeah, that's
Wolfgang
Ludwig.
Puck?
Caesar and the others. The man who was chasing you, Signorina.
Oh, right. So dumb. I completely forgot about Mr. Caesar after nearly dying.
From what Kyrie tells me, they live in the forest outside the town walls. They're a troublesome bunch who invade other territories. All the famiglia are plagued by them.
Oh yeah, since it seems to have both Karamia and Axel, I'll take narrator for this scene.
Okay. Okay!
Okay!
We all have to be on the lookout for another attack.
Okay! Karamia made a satisfied nod and held his hand out to Axel.
Axel, do you have any change on you?
Axel groped around in his pockets. After counting out the coins he found, he handed them to Karamia.
Grazie. Cora, let's get something to eat. Axel is treating. What?
Is that okay?
It's fine, isn't it, Axel? If the Don buys something for me, too. Alright, it's settled. Man, all I had this morning was an orange. I'm already starving.
Whose fault is that, Karamia?
Hey, Axel, buy me something. What?
Hey, Axel, do you have any change? Great, you're treating us to food.
Why? All I had was an orange. What do you expect from me? There's a great hot dog stand over there. Let's go, Cora.
Axel frowned as he watched over Karamia and Cora from behind while they walked down the street lined with food stands.
Isn't your empty stomach your own responsibility? Why do I have to pay for your food? Axel, we're going to leave you behind. I'm coming. So done with Kramia's crap. I I kind of like Axel right now.
I know, right?
Just because he's, like, so done with it already.
I feel like Harami is too happy-go-lucky.
Cromia reminds me of, what's his face from Orin right now?
Tamaki?
Yes! Just being
And
like...
Kira would be Kyoya.
Exactly!
Which one's Axel, then?
The dude who's always with Honey.
Mori-senpai.
Yes, exactly. Like, it lines up too well.
We just need the twins and Honey. And for, I suppose, MC to be a little smarter, because MC is certainly not as smart.
But, like, isn't Kuramiya like Tamaki?
Like Tamaki?
Yeah.
A bit.
There's
A lot.
little clothing boutique at the end of this street.
Harami pointed down an alley with a hand still greasy from his hot dog.
Just around that corner is a general store, and beyond that is a bookstore. You can buy almost anything within Oz territory, so I don't think you'll be uncomfortable here.
Although, we have not given you any money.
What? We're supposed to pay you? Have we hired you for something?
I'm just saying. Yeah, she could buy whatever she wants in Oz territory. With what money?
Put it on Karamia's tab.
Put it on Axel's tab?
Don't need to Axel.
No, but then Karami would just move it all to Axel's tab.
Yeah, sounds like it. In the center of town is Tower Plaza. You can see the tower from any part of town. It's a good landmark.
Karami put one hand on the tower wall and looked up. Korra followed suit and looked up too. The tower stretched so high into the sky that its top was hidden in the clouds. What a big tower!
Indeed. Not even Mr. Know-It-All Kyrie knows what it is exactly. It's a mystery.
Mr. Know-It-All Curie.
A king lives in it.
She turned to face Axel behind her, but he only stepped forward and placed his hand on the tower just as Karamiya had.
I've heard that the king of this world lives on the top of this tower.
Oz?
What? You actually believe the legend, Axel? Is there something wrong with it? I hear the music and I'm also like, Orin? Nah, it's good to dream.
I also feel like I barely hear the music now.
I hear it when we're not talking.
I hear it a little bit when we're not talking. Did I leave it on? Oh, that's why.
Yeah. Because it was like overpowering at the... Oh, wait! Are we hiding the face?
Huh? Huh.
We accidentally hit the face!
Whoops.
Huh!
I hadn't even realized.
I wonder if the face will show up now. Nah, it's good to dream.
What legend?
There we go! Supposedly, anyone who reaches the top floor and meets the king will have any wish granted.
Wish?
Yeah, but no one knows how to meet the king. There are no doors into the tower, only the names of the famiglia that control the town, and some rectangular slots.
The slots Axel had mentioned were far beyond Korra's reach. The names of the famiglia were carved beneath niches.
Ah!
Face!
I don't know if the legend is true or not, but this tower does serve as a major landmark.
Karamiya pulled Korra close to him. He leaned forward to match her eye level and pointed at the street they'd walked along to get there.
If you ever get lost, as long as you can use the tower to find your way back to this plaza, you can get back to the mansion. You can see it from here. Just follow the red brick road to get back. Simple, right? Follow the red brick road. Follow the red brick road.
Man, they must have killed a lot of people.
It
is!
That's how they got like control of such a big territory. And the fact that they seem to be like the ruling family. This plaza is the heart of town. This plaza in the heart of town is a common space, not controlled by anyone famiglia. If you need to get into another territory, it's probably best to go through this area. There's nowhere to hide here, so it's symbolic for saying you have no ill intent.
Have you ever been to the other Famiglia's areas?
Oh, of course. It depends on who we're talking about, but it's not like all our relationships are stormy ones. I visit other territories to go shopping or to talk to people, though I guess it is pretty rare for me to leave Oz territory. Naturally, your movements draw suspicion. That's one of the downsides of being the Dawn. People are always watching me.
Ew. Attention.
See, you could have gone with that in like different directions.
Okay, but me. Which direction do you think I was gonna bring it?
Heidi has a big dairy farm. The cheese they make is just superb. I know. I'll have Axel buy it next time. Why me? Sir, isn't that... I'll have Axel buy me things.
I can't go. Oh, I know! Axel, you go!
Are you gonna give me money for it? No, use your own.
You're a treat!
Hello, Red.
The person Axel had spotted in the crowd was Scarlet, the capo regime of Famiglia Grimm. Scarlet's red mantle fluttered as Karamia spoke.
Karamia-san. Junkai ka?
Seeing Red, I'm like, shouldn't, like, Red Riding Hood be a girl?
Nope. Because
But,
I believe Scarlet is dateable.
What has that got to do with anything?
True.
Come on, can't Corey be bi?
Wait, was this character girl or boy? Huh. No.
そうだな。大きければ大きいほどいい。
Ah, then the answer is because we already filled our one lesbian romance quota.
With who?
そうだな。大きければ大きいほどいい。
Apparently that's a route.
Huh, okay.
君は
Well, that's part of it, but we're mostly showing the blah 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 blah.
Sorry.
We're mostly showing the signorina around our territory.
Hello, Scarlet!
あ
Scarlet glanced at Cora before looking up at Karamia.
あ町の規律について彼女はすでに知っているのか
Which rules? I'm in the process of doing that right now.
そうそれならいい
Scarlet looked at Cora again.
決まりを破らなければ危害は加えない破れば容赦しないよく覚えておくことだ
No mercy?
No mercy. Of course! Scarlet gave the Mish a small nod before turning around to leave. The rifle on Scarlet's back swayed a bit with each step. Scarlet's pretty scary.
Yeah, right. That's nothing. Scarlet is probably the most level-headed of the members of Famiglia Grimm. The twins are much cooler. Yeah, Hansel and Gretel can be pretty reckless. Mind that you don't end up in a fight with those two.
I will!
I don't think Cora could manage a fight with, like, a twig.
I don't think she can. That's why she needs the protection of Famiglia's. ... Suddenly, Cora realized Axel had been staring at her. What's wrong, Mr. Axel?
You should be safe as long as you stay inside Oz territory.
Huh?
I'm trying to say that you should be safe, so there's no need to be scared.
How sweet. Okay.
Are you trying to tell her that you'll protect her? Trying to sound cool, huh? I am not. I just mean that Famiglia is always guarding her own territory, so... Aren't you part of the Famiglia to Axel? We'll protect you. Ah, so you're saying you'll protect her? No!
No,
You're part of the protection, huh? We finished the tour of our territory already. I'll return to my usual duties.
Mr. Axel.
He just ran off because he was embarrassed. Well, shall we walk around a little more? There's this great ice cream place nearby. I'll take you there. Maybe I'll actually pay for once.
Okay. Okay.
Or I'll put it on Axel's tab.
If it's an ice cream place, Axel probably has a tab.
I wonder who will date.
Who would we like to meet?
Who's the bottom? There's Robin Hood, and is that Pashat?
Oh, down here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that I was like, oh, sorry, we've already filled our lesbian romance quota. Because these games, if they give one, are, I feel like usually just one.
Because why would girls want to date other girls? They only want to date hot guys.
I still think Hustle Cat should have made one of the guys into a girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Hey, we're actually, like, going out with the guy we're apparently trying to date.
Amazing. Maybe I should go out into town today. ... Oh, Mr. Axel. Are you going out too?
If you are...
Me?
Yes.
Axel spoke between sighs. Sorry, I was just like, well, if it's one of your characters again, I might as well take it.
Yes. The Don has asked me to chaperone you until you've become accustomed to the town. You're going out. I will follow you. Let's go, guest.
Oh, please wait! There's so many people out today! ... Axel gave no hint of a reaction as he walked behind her. Maybe I'm getting used to him not answering me.
He just doesn't seem to care.
That made her a bit sad, but for some reason, she felt it was easier to accept if she just assumed that was just the kind of person he was. Huh? She stopped abruptly. There's a side street here. Mr. Axel, where does this lead?
To your death. ...
Instead of answering her, Axel pulled a piece of paper from his pocket and handed it to her. This is...
Map of our territory. The information you are looking for is on it. Now stop asking me questions.
Thank you very much. It's a by road. I see.
Dot 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 dot.
I see.
Dot 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 dot.
Nope, definitely not getting used to it. The silence is killing me. The people walking the streets were chatting happily, but between the two of them, there was no conversation to speak of. I can't just wait for him to say something. I have to make an effort. What to talk about? Mr. Axel, are you not very busy?
Excuse me?
Well, you came out with me even though we didn't make plans in advance. I figure you must have a lot of free time. So... With each word that came out of her mouth, another wrinkle appeared on Axel's forehead.
Don't be ridiculous. I'm only accompanying you because I was told to prioritize protecting you. We have plenty of other work to do.
Oh, okay. Must be pretty hard having to take care of me in addition to all your regular work, huh?
Wouldn't be difficult at all if you would just stay in your room.
Sorry.
You say you're sorry. You're not making any attempt to return to the mansion.
Oh no, I think I made him mad again. As much as she wanted to befriend him, the distance between them only seemed to be widening.
She doesn't want to befriend him, she wants to boyfriend him.
She sighed to herself and turned around to head back. Okay, let's go back to the mansion then.
It's fine. I don't mind continuing like this.
But, Mr. Axel, being stuck with me is no fun, right?
My feelings are irrelevant. I don't have the authority to restrict your actions. It's my duty to follow you where you want to go.
Duty.
But I want you to have fun too.
I want you to have fun too, Mr. Axel. It's Sunday, and Sunday is a special day in this town, right?
Dot 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 dot.
That's why I think you should be having fun too, Mr. Axel, not just me.
Dot 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 dot.
At least that's how I feel. She shrank back as he turned his sharp gaze toward her.
Don't worry about me. Spend your time as you see fit.
But...
I said it was fine. Are you trying to upset me?
Wait, what's in his hand?
Also,
why do his hands look like hooves? I feel like he's missing some fingers or something.
I mean, at the angle that he's standing, it makes sense you would only see two of the fingers.
Yeah, but then that's very wide for his finger. That doesn't match the shape of a hand.
Okay, that doesn't... I'm not saying that they're good at drawing hands, because aren't hands supposed to be hard?
No one is good at drawing hands.
As to what he's holding, a jacket or something? A bag?
Of course not!
Don't worry about it. Just pretend I'm not even here. Let's go.
Oh, wait.
It's a jacket.
Okay. Mr. Axel.
Got it memorized.
Okay.
Ignore my existence.
I'm sorry for making you come out with me on your precious Sunday. Oh no, I'm happy you invited me. Mr. Curie, you're really busy on weekends, aren't you? Well, I'm not so busy that I'm about to keel over. Of course, it's not like you're completely unrelated to how busy I am. I have to stifle my own interests and do my job. You understand, don't you?
Yes.
Good. It's already been 3 weeks since we met. How are you finding your stay?
How has it been 3 weeks? It's only week 2.
Well, it's already been 3 Sundays.
Ah! It's pleasant.
Thanks for your hospitality. It's been very pleasant.
I'm happy to hear that. How can I help you feel more at home living in a house full of men? I intend to do what I can to attend to your needs. If there is anything you are dissatisfied with, please don't hesitate to mention it. If it is within my power, I will take care of it.
Oh no, things are fine the way they are. I couldn't possibly ask for more.
No, that's no good. Miss Cora, you're our very special guest after all.
Be our guest, be our guest. Kira clasped her right hand with both of his. She could feel the warmth of his hands through his gloves.
Entertaining you is part of my job.
Ah! She stiffened as he touched his hand to her cheek.
I guess that's a good stiffen reaction.
Mr. Curie?
Stop touching me, you creep!
Yes, what is it?
What is it? I mean, your hand!
Oh, you'd rather I touch you barehanded. Very well.
That doesn't sound any better, dude.
He's messing with her.
Kyrie brought his hand to his mouth and pulled off his glove with his teeth.
I didn't mean it like that!
This fucking troll. Oh, so touching isn't enough. What an audacious request to make in such a public space in the middle of the day.
No!
It seemed like the more she spoke, the more he misunderstood.
How should I explain this?
He smiled at her, who was visibly at a complete loss like always.
Don't worry. I know exactly what you meant. Huh? I'm actually pretty sharp when it comes to conversation. I just wanted to mess with you.
Mess with me?
You see, I just can't help teasing girls I like, and even those I don't.
Stop flirting with everyone!
That was just a little taste just now. You should prepare yourself. He's not flirting. He's just trolling, basically.
Troll flirt?
I guess so.
Is it still flirting if he doesn't mean it?
It
I
can
guess
be
it's
question mark? I mean, you can flirt and not, 100% mean it, I think.
Yeah, but he, is saying that sometimes he 0% means it.
Yeah.
And he's only doing it to, make her uncomfortable, I guess. Not literally to flirt.
You can still flirt to do that.
That sounds weird.
I mean, have you met humanity?
Okay.
Well, enough of this idle chit-chat. Shall we be going?
Where are we going?
Let's keep that a surprise.
This place...
Been here before?
No, never. I had no idea this place existed.
How unkind of Karamia and Axel to only give you bits and pieces of information. This is Oscar Wilde Street. Like the main plaza and the clinic, it's an unaffiliated area. You're free to come here. However, the members of Famiglia's tend to avoid it.
Why?
Good question. Perhaps because it's a place for adult socialization. Adult?
I don't get it.
That building over there is a church. It's not locked, so you can confess your sins whenever you feel so inclined.
Why do I need to go to a church for that?
And this...
こんにちは、キリエ様。
Oh my, did you come out just to see us?
たまたまお姿が見えたもので。そちらの女性が以前おっしゃられていた方ですか?
Indeed she is. I would feel just awful if I didn't show her around every corner of town.
それは必ずしも全てを知る必要はないと思います。と申し遅れました。俺はサロンオスカー・ワイルドで働いています。受付のマンボイです。
Yes, man boy.
Why?
I'm Cora. Famiglia Oz has been taking care of me. It's a pleasure to meet you.
はい。こちらこそよろしくお願いいたします。
Okay, but like, why?
Salon, huh?
間違ったことは言っていませんよ。
Yes, that is true. Let's leave it at that.
Wow. Cora looked back and forth between their contrary expressions.
Are you already getting confused by swapping around narrator?
No, I just always get confused. Kyrie smiled at her confused countenance?
Countenance. Maybe you should be Cora.
I never assumed that I can speak.
Oh, I meant the confusion. You have that in common.
Hey there.
Manboy here is very well acquainted with this particular area. If you want to know anything, you should ask him.
キリエ様。
I thought you hadn't said anything false.
ええ、そうですね。本日はご案内のみですか? まさか彼女を連れて入店されたりしませんよね?
Oh no, it's much too soon for her.
I wanted to make a joke being like, it's a salon, so they're just gonna do her hair, right?
Yep. Look, she's got like a piece of leaf in her hair. She really needs it.
Exactly. She needs to get her hair done.
Soon? What do you mean? Good question. What do you think, Manboy?
それは
I'm here.
Mr. Axel!
She turned around as Axel approached. He seemed to be in quite a sour mood, shotgun in hand.
Oh, are you sure you're not early?
Don't be ridiculous. I'm right on time as always. May I bring the guest back home? House guest back home?
Yes, that will do. Excuse me, Miss Cora. I have some work to attend to at this salon right now.
Oh, and also, ah!
Are you gonna do that every time they do the face zoom in?
Yes.
Even though it's Sunday?
Yes. No rest for the consigliere, after all.
Liar.
Did you say something, Axel?
No. Let's go, guest. Axel started walking without waiting for her to respond.
Okay.
She paused to turn around and wave before she hurried after Axel.
Goodbye, Mr. Kyrie. Mr. Manboy.
Why is his name Manboy? Kyrie gave her a little wave, keeping his hand close to his chest. Manboy sighed and began to speak.
年頃の女性をこんなところへ連れてくるなんて
And I could ask what you're thinking, speaking ill of your workplace like that. She might even end up being a customer, you know.
そ
Yeah, get her hair done.
また連れてくる気なんですか？
Oh no. I'll let her curiosity take care of that. Miss Cora is an irregular presence, so I can't even begin to imagine what future she will choose.
What future hairstyle?
Look forward to it, man boy.
俺は複雑です。
He's not sure what hairstyle she'll choose.
Yep. I wonder where we're going. Should
Me or
I-
you?
Huh?
Me or you?
Either way. I guess Axel's kind of quiet, so it's harder to make an easy decision.
Axel doesn't speak a lot.
He goes ... a lot. ...
Shut up, please. If they were returning to the Oz mansion, surely they would have just taken the red brick road. Yet the road they walking along was paved with bricks of emerald, not red.
Mr. Axel sure walks fast.
No, you're just slow. He smoothly slipped through the crowds, not paying any mind to her chasing after him.
We'll be separated at this rate. Mr. Axel, please wait! Eep!
She smacked into Axel's back, like always. She looked up at him, pouting, as she clutched her nose. What? Ah!
That's my line! Why did you stop so suddenly?
Weren't you the one who asked me to wait?
I did say that. Thank you for listening to me.
Tut 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 tut. Axel's gaze shifted from Cora to his right hand. He didn't say a word. He just stared at it.
What's wrong?
Nothing. I can hear your footsteps. I won't leave you behind. Let's go.
Okay. Oh, it kind of seems like he slowed down a little.
Was he thinking to be like, hold my hand?
Is Mr. Axel trying to match my pace?
Was that what he was thinking?
I have no idea. I was just as confused that he's staring at his hand.
I think he was trying to like go through like, should I ask her to hold my hand so she doesn't get lost? Like the idiot she is. At the end of the Emerald Brick Road was a street, not unlike those in the Oz territory. The houses had gently curving roofs. The smell of baked sweets hung in the air.
I'm sure this must be another Famiglia's territory, but it's Sunday, so it must be okay to be here, right?
Wait. Does every famiglia repave the roads? Because like Oz territory was saying that like theirs is red, so either they repaint when they take over the territory or they repave it.
Well, it sounded like that the red road was the one leading back to the mansion, but that not necessarily all of the roads in the territory are red.
Found it.
Huh? Those two were...
双子印のビスケット安いよ安いよ
Double trouble. Where's Team Rocket?
Blasting off again! Meow, that's right.
Hansel was standing in the middle of the street, energetically peddling his wares. An orange carpet, casually covered with bags of baked sweets, was spread out at one corner of the street. Behind the sack sat Gretel, who, unlike Hansel, had a sour, Hansel had a sour, decidedly unwelcoming expression unbecoming of a salesperson on her face. They're the Grand Famiglia's caporegimes. Caporegimes?
Yeah.
Hansel and Gretel. Do you remember them?
Yes, I learned their names at the meeting.
Why are you an idiot? Axel nodded slightly and approached Hansel. Cora followed.
お、アクセルじゃん。
Gretel hastily stood up and hurried behind Hansel, clinging to his back. She glared at Axel and Cora from behind her fellow caporegime.
何しに来たのむっつり
Beep, boop.
Does that mean Axel is ace?
Yes.
Great.
My name is Axel.
知ってるわよ
Got it
むっつ
memorized?
り小娘を連れて何しに来たの
Little girl.
ヘンゼルこの女会合で寝起き頭と老快男の間に座ってたやつよね
Sleepyhead of the trickster.
そうだぜ、グレートね。
Yep.
So we got Sleepyhead, Trickster, and Robot.
グリムになんのよ喧嘩それなら受けて立つけど
喧嘩だったら大勢で来るんじゃないかな。ということは、
奇襲ね
No.
わかったデートだ
No.
じゃあ奇襲に決定ヘンゼル反撃の準備
お、ドーンってやっちゃうか
ヘンゼル、グレーテル、武器をしまうんだ。
Scarlet.
見たところ、彼らは無防備だ。争い目的でやってきたとは考えられない。
その目は節穴むっつりは銃を持ってるじゃない
I'm only following familiar rules to be armed at all times.
ヘンゼルとグレーテルだってダイナマイトや手榴弾を持っているだろう。だいたい今日は日曜だ。協定を守らなくてはいけない。
そんなくだらない決まり破ればいいのに
グレーテル、
じゃあさ、デートでも喧嘩でもなければ、一体何しに来たんだ
To buy sweets.
So that's it. I wonder who we're doing this errand for.
Columbia! Well, she is.
Huh? I am?
You are, aren't you? She stopped talking as Axel gave her a meaningful look.
He must have his reasons.
Playing along, she nodded in agreement.
そうなんだ毎度ありってね。どれも同じ値段だから好きなの選んでよ。
Okay. Which should I pick?
She crouched down in front of the sweets, clutching her knees as she tried to make a decision. Third from the right.
Huh?
While she hadn't been paying attention, Axel had crouched down beside her. He'd whispered into her ear quietly so that only she could hear him.
I'm waiting for your patented. Ah!
Oh, right.
I mean, even more so that he's apparently literally so close that he's whispering directly into her ear.
Third from the right. Third from the right.
Third from the right.
Third from the right was 6 chocolate chip cookies in a clear bag tied up with a blue ribbon. Ooh, tasty.
Ooh.
Now I want cookies. Send me some cookies, please.
Make your own cookies.
But I can't go out to buy ingredients.
Why don't you have the ingredients on hand?
I think we've gone over that. We don't really have much. Like, what do you need to make cookies? What do you need to make cookies?
Flour, sugar, butter, chocolate chips. Omit
Okay.
chocolate chips if you're making just plain cookies.
I don't think we have flour.
That's the most basic of them.
I mean, I could be wrong. They could be hiding in one of the cabinets, but I don't think we have flour.
Haven't you said that, or hasn't your roommate ever made like tonkatsu or anything? Anything
Wait,
fried?
what?
Has your roommate made anything fried? Like breaded and fried?
Not that I can think of.
Mm.
What?
Is very useful. Also,
Yes,
I
it
have to
is
have a
very
supply
useful
of
for
flour
making
because I
something
made
hot.
pancakes today. Pancakes requires flour.
I haven't had pancakes since I don't know when.
Well, you should learn to make pancakes then. It's really easy.
But that requires effort, and I'm a lazy bum.
But do you like pancakes? As I recall, you do.
They're okay. I'm the weird one. I don't put, like, anything on them.
Oh, I ate my pancakes plain. On the
you
other
do?
hand, huh?
I was like, oh, you do?
Sometimes.
See, I think my roommate gets on me because I don't use butter.
Yeah, I didn't put
What?
butter. We got maple syrup during our last grocery hoarding,
I don't
not really
like
hoarding
maple
run.
syrup.
Huh?
I'm not a big fan of maple syrup.
Maple syrup's okay. The one we got, I only chose because it's bourbon maple syrup. And I'm me, you know.
Yeah,
If I was gonna
but-
get maple syrup, of course it's bourbon maple syrup.
But, like, yeah, I don't...
Yeah, I mean, I think even when I've had maple syrup, I only really use it for like baking or something. I'm not as wild for maple flavored things as a lot of people are. I think it's okay.
My family would, like, cover stuff in maple syrup.
Mm.
And I'm just like, no, I'll just eat this pancake. Thanks, bye.
I mean, so the thing for me is like, if I have a plain stack of pancakes, yeah, I might want maple syrup. I don't know. That's not too bad. And I don't have anything, I guess, against maple syrup. It's just not my preference. But the thing is that when I'm making pancakes, usually, like today, I had basically like a lemon vanilla pancake.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, it tastes good on its own.
Mm-hmm.
And my goal is usually to make a pancake that tastes good on its own. And so I'm like, well, maple syrup is sticky. It's more effort.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I don't put anything on it, I can just hold my pancake in my hands like a barbarian.
What'd you say?
Then I just hold my pancake in my hands like a barbarian.
So many people yell at me for doing that.
I mean, if there's nothing on it, then it doesn't matter.
Exactly. There's nothing on it. Just pick it up and eat it. Why do I need a fork?
It's a little easier, I think.
Yeah.
Just pick it up. Because at that point, it's basically a piece of bread.
Exactly. I'm surprised we have this in common.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm also making my own pancakes, which you do not do. And I probably wouldn't do that with like a plain pancake. If I make my own pancakes and it has its own flavor and that flavor is good enough, I don't really need the like topping.
See, I go with just plain.
But sometimes I also make pancakes and then I make like a berry compote or something, or some other kind of fruit. And then I'll put that on. Maple's okay, but between the two options, I would rather have like some kind of fruit compote instead of syrup.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
How about this one?
Riddle wrapped the bag of cookies in paper before handing it to Hansel.
はいよ
Hansel.
買ってくれてありがとう
I'll pay. Hansel held out his hand expectantly.
ふんやっぱりで
No, we're just shopping.
あっそ。ま、そういうことでいいや。味は保証するよ。よかったら今度感想を聞かせて。
Oh, certainly.
Cora reached out to take the bag of sweets. Before she could pull away, Hansel grabbed her hand.
あのさ、君って敬語でしか喋れない子だったりする？
Nope.
Of course I can, Mr. Hansel.
じゃあさ、俺には敬語抜きで喋ってよ。ヘンゼルさんってのも変えてくれると嬉しいな。くすぐったくて仕方ないから。
Oh, then how about just Hansel?
うんうん、それでバッチリ。
何を言ってるのヘンゼル。小娘はオズの。
わかってるって。でもさ、ただ預かってるってだけであっちのファミリーには加わってないんだろ。ちょっと仲良くするぐらいはいいんじゃないの？なあ、スカーレット。
そうだな。どう過ぎなければ。
やったー。
やったじゃないわよ。回収されたらどうするの？ヘンゼルのバカバカバーカ。
What are you gonna do, you idiot?
Baka baka baka.
やったなグレーテル。女友達ができたじゃん。
友達なんて未来英語を思ってやらないし。
グレーテルとスカーレットともどもよろしくな。
Ew, he just called us baby.
Ugh. Ugh.
Thanks.
Cora squeezed his hand back. Ugh. Unlike Hansel, Gretel's gaze was icy cold. We're done here. Let's go.
Oh, okay.
待て。
What?
領地から出るまで護衛してやる。
You will?
ああ。グレーテルは君たちのことをよく思っていないようだ。手出しをしないよう守ってやる。
We don't need an escort.
距離は取る。問題ない。
Scarlet walked over to one of the houses and began clambering up a drain pipe. Because this is Assassin's Creed. In the blink of an eye, Scarlet was on the roof looking down at Axel and Cora. Never listens. Let's go, guest.
Okay.
バイバイ。
Ugh.
Gonna go with the voiced version of just bye bye. Goodbye, Hansel, Greta.
Oh, because you called her Greta.
小娘にちゃん付けされるなんて
よかったじゃねえかグレーテル。
よくない。全くちっともこれっぽっちもコンマゼロもビビともよくない。小娘、一体何を企んでいるの？
Isn't that supposed to be a form of endearment?
Is it?
I don't know. Everyone keeps giving me nicknames for some reason.
And are they all forms of endearment?
I'd probably say none of them were.
Feels a little strange to be walking side by side with Mr. Axel.
Only because Sharky was out of necessity.
Mr. Axel, are you intentionally slowing yourself down? Also, Sharky became the most widespread of them, though.
Yeah, but out of necessity.
Only at first. All the other people just adopted it because they adopted it.
Because people wouldn't call me by my real name.
Ew.
I have a real name.
Yeah, it's Sharky.
That's not the name I was born with.
Yeah, it's better. Mr. Axel, are you intentionally slowing yourself down?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Don't get the wrong idea. Not doing it as a favor.
Huh?
I don't want the other side to see what you're doing.
Other side. Oh, you mean Scarlet?
Famiglia Grimm's couple regime, Scarlet, was walking along the rooftops. keeping a fixed distance from Cora and Axel.
It's pretty amazing that Scarlet can walk like that while keeping an eye on us.
I'm keeping you from view. Don't go out of your way to make yourself visible.
Is it bad if I'm seen?
It doesn't feel very good to have someone watching your every move, does it?
I'm sorry. I know what he said, but maybe he really is doing it to be nice to me. Mr. Axel might be a really kind person after all.
Why are you smiling?
I was just thinking that you're a really nice person, Mr. Axel.
Dot, 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 dot.
Mr. Axel?
Nothing. You interrupted my train of thought with your strange comments.
Strange? Was there something strange about what I said?
Dot, 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 dot.
He stopped talking. Maybe I said something I shouldn't have.
She cocked her head to the side, puzzled, but she couldn't figure out what she'd done wrong.
It feels like such a waste to go home in silence.
She looked around, trying to find a new conversation topic.
Oh, that's right. Did Mr. Karami ask you to get these cookies?
Dot, dot, dot. Ah!
Was it Mr. Curian?
I'm not obligated to tell you.
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
Dot, 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 dot.
I'm no good at this. I just keep offending Mr. Axel.
They're delicious.
Huh?
Those cookies are delicious. I'll let you have one.
Does that mean that these are...
Dot, 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 dot. For me. He looked away and Cora bit her tongue.
cookies for me? Does that mean Mr. Axel wanted to eat them himself?
But you couldn't just go and buy the cookies.
No,
You need
no.
a reason.
Yep.
Come on, he's got to have that tough guy persona. Suddenly, those simple cookies seemed unusually special to her.
I don't understand why there's like seemingly a thing that tough guys can't like sweets.
Or cute things, or basically anything.
But like
Except for,
sweets in
like-
particular.
Because it's too feminine, apparently. Tough guys need to eat like raw meat 24/7.
Well, that's depressing because cookies are delicious. And cake
Cookies
is
are
delicious.
delicious.
And brownies are delicious.
That is
All
true.
of these things are delicious and do not need to be gendered.
Okay, but like, welcome to the world.
I don't like it. Can I get a refund?
No, you have to stay here for another like 60 years.
Not if the coronavirus gets me first!
You're the one who's working from home.
My city still has more cases, I think.
Okay, but like, you are rarely leaving the house because of your working from home.
Yeah.
I have a somewhat higher chance of getting it.
Yeah. You should do something about that.
Do you want me to quit?
No.
Are you gonna pay for my, are you gonna pay me?
Nope. But
Oh,
you should
well.
find another job.
Can't.
Why not?
I don't think any places are hiring right now.
Yes and no.
Not
I've
in my
still been-
area.
I've still had people like reaching out to me on LinkedIn.
Okay, but like, that's your area.
My field, not my area.
That's not gonna happen as much over here.
You were in the same field as me.
Okay, but I don't have the same credentials as you.
Maybe you should try logging in.
sorry I can't hack the Matrix.
Am I reading lines? Are you reading lines?
I already read that line.
Did you?
Yeah, then we got on the topic of like, oh, he can't order them himself because they're sweets. Guest.
Yes?
Would you mind accompanying me on a slight detour?
In addition to the detour we've already made. A detour?
They made their way to a back alley bordered by Grim Street on one side and Oscar Wilde Street on the other. By the time they got there, the sky was already dyed a deep crimson. Scarlet had vanished without a trace. All they could hear was the sound of their footsteps.
We're here. This is it. I'm sure this is where I first awoke. ... He told me to take him to the place where I first remember waking up.
Axel just stared at the ground in silence. ...
Hello, I'm here to make a refund.
What?
I'm here to make a return.
Oh.
I would like a refund.
I found this weird child. Can, like, I refund her for something else?
I'll accept an exchange. Mr. Axel?
Somebody I might actually like. ... You really don't remember anything before that? His words, following the long silence, made her blink. When I returned from my patrols, you were lying on the couch. That's how we met. Your situation was explained to me, but I just couldn't accept it. Do you really not have any memories before then? Have you really not got it memorized?
Yes.
You idiot. I understand that you're not a member of another famiglia, but I still... There was a sudden explosion! A shockwave erupted behind them, strong enough to make their hair fly back and pin their clothes to their bodies.
Were their clothes not on their bodies?
No! That's why they're pinned to their bodies! What was that? Several figures were outlined in the white smoke. A familiar man stepped out from among them.
久しぶりだな、獲物。
Mr. Caesar!
俺の名を覚えていたか。
Caesar snorted and unfastened another sword. He's dual wielding. He switched from wielding a single longsword to dual blades, pointing them both at Cora.
There's the other blade. So shiny.
その身、今日こそ手に入れる。
For now. You'll have to go through me first. Axel raised his shotgun and moved between them to protect her. Is this still Sunday?
Yep.
多勢に無勢だ。おとなしく去ればいいものを。
Well, okay, remember, the Sunday compromise thing is that the famiglia don't fight with each other. That doesn't count the gang.
That's true.
殺せ。
At Caesar's command, other men charged forward. Axel snapped his gun into a firing position and pulled the trigger. He missed the man he'd been aiming for, but the blast chopped into the support of a nearby awning. Within seconds, it had collapsed into the alleyway, briefly stalling their attackers' advance.
Are you sure that he was aiming for the guy?
Yes. Sometimes my poor aim comes in handy. Go back to the mansion, guest.
Huh? But Mr. Axel!
I'll hold them off.
But...
Just go.
ち貴様、覚悟しろ。
I'm always ready. Wait, press space. It looks so weird that it's not like the full thing.
Yeah, I mean, look at the top. There's also a little thing up there.
It looks so weird. This is my job after all.
How cool of him, I think. Once I get back to the plaza, I just follow the red brick road.
Cora was running just like she had on that fateful day, fleeing the exact same man from the exact same place. But unlike that fateful day, now she was familiar with the streets and people she passed.
Somewhat.
Even if she'd stayed, there was nothing she could have done in that situation. She would have only made things harder for Axel.
I have to tell someone. I have to let them know, and soon. I'm sure Mr. Krami and the others will be able to do something.
Oh, Signorina, why are you in such a hurry?
Mr. Krami! Mr. Kyrie! Help!
What's wrong? Is Caesar chasing you again?
He's not chasing me, but Mr. Axel! Mr. Caesar is after Mr. Axel.
So that gunshot earlier was Axel.
Yes, he said he'd hold them off so I could get away.
He's such a troublemaker.
That he is. Well, let's return to the mansion like we'd planned.
You're going back? But what about Mr. Axel?
Leave him. He'll manage on his own.
But he was outnumbered. If we don't hurry, he'll...
Really now? He must be putting up a good fight if you got this far without injury. That's really all that matters.
Putting up a good fight?
The Capo regime is nothing more than a sacrificial pawn, after all.
Mr. Krami,
I'm sorry, Signorina, but I agree with Kyrie. I'll send some scouts out, but so please, come back to the house with us.
Oof. It'd be nice if you would just stay in the forest like a good little feral wolf.
They were in the office in the back of the mansion. They'd spread a map out on top of the big table in the center of the room. Cora and Kyrie were sitting across the table from Gramia. The scouts are reporting that they couldn't find Axel in the alley.
Oh no! Was he kidnapped?
Yes, they probably took him to the forest.
If I was king of the forest. As you can see from the map, the town is encircled by a wall. The people who live in the forest outside the wall are the Wolf Gang. If they kidnapped him, it'd probably take him to the forest or the slums.
The slums?
Not everyone living in this town accepts the rule of the famiglia. It's this grey district here, created by those who despise the ruling class. Right now, it's a perfect breeding ground for criminals.
The rival famiglia aren't the only ones who we have conflicts with. We have some skirmishes with residents of the slum. We have more skirmishes with residents of the slums than anyone else.
Caesar's group, the Wolf Gang, is a group of anarchists composed of people who left out of distaste for the town itself. That said, it's still not clear exactly where Caesar himself came from.
He was raised by wolves.
Considering where Caesar tends to operate, the forest seems like the more likely option. That's assuming that Axel isn't sleeping with the fishes already.
Aw, is he gonna find some penguins? Don't be so vulgar around the Signorina. Maybe he'll find Nemo. Alright, maybe we should get something to eat. Chromia rolled up the map and put it back down on the table, before standing and stretching. What would you like for dinner, Signorina?
I want carbonara.
Are you a Signorina? Cora was deeply confused by how normal the two of them were acting.
But what are we going to do about Mr. Axel? Nothing. Huh? Did you not hear me? I said we're not doing anything.
But isn't he an important part of the famiglia?
Yes, he is the famiglia Oz's couple regime, and protecting you, one of our guests, is an important part of his job. But these are separate issues.
Do you feel the same way, Mr. Chromia?
Yes. Axel's situation is a famiglia problem. There's no need for you to worry about it. Or get involved, Signorina. Forget about him for now.
How could I?
Just focus on what you're gonna eat.
I think I'm going to go back to my room.
What about dinner?
I'm not hungry. I was promised cookies.
Alright then. I'll save a portion for you. So please, eat whenever your appetite returns.
And now I want carbonara, though.
Never had it. Don't even know what it is.
It's a pasta sauce that's made with egg yolks to make it creamier.
Interesting.
I was just watching a video yesterday of something mac and cheese carbonara. Carbonara mac and cheese? Whatever it is. I think it usually has something like bacon in it, so maybe you wouldn't like it. But then you can just take the bacon out. For the most part, it's basically like a cream sauce.
Interesting.
Now I'm hungry.
I haven't had dinner yet.
You should do that.
At some point.
You should have dinner. Mm-hmm.
Her stomach grumbled the moment she made it back to her room. Because she was hungry.
I guess this is what they call playing the martyr. But I can't eat at a time like this. I can't just forget about Mr. Axel.
She took off her shoes and lay on the bed. Feeling something underneath her, she sat back up. There was Axel.
Oh, Mr. Axel's cookies.
How did they make her... What? She'd forgotten she had them.
And now she's laying across them and they're crushed.
You can still eat a crushed cookie.
Yes, you can.
But the wrapping in the cookies inside had been crushed.
Like I said, I bet Mr. Axel is hungry. Why do Mr. Chromia and Mr. Curie talk about Mr. Axel like that?
Because that's his job. She was perplexed and saddened by how they were so much colder and less kind to him than they were to her.
If only I hadn't been there, then Mr. Axel wouldn't be.
She gulped as a vortex of guilt engulfed her.
Mr. Caesar was chasing me after all. I wonder if I can save Mr. Axel if I go to Mr. Caesar's camp.
That is the stupidest idea since Avery. She shook her head, trying to shed her anxiety that Axel might already be...
All MCs are done. If I can save Mr. Axel, then I should go find Mr. Caesar.
Does sexual attraction make this happen? Does it make people this stupid?
It doesn't even sound like a sexual attraction thing here. I think. Unless it is. I don't know.
Then what would make her this stupid?
Guilt?
But like... you can still feel guilty and not try to march into the camp of the people who want to kill you to get a guy back.
Yeah, but I think that
Better
she's
ways to
being
handle
dumb
that.
to be dumb, not because she's attracted to Axel.
Like, there are better ways to handle that, though.
I mean, yeah. And?
Sneaking out of the mansion was even easier than Cora had thought it would be.
Should we stop after this scene?
Probably. It's been like, what? It's been roughly 2 hours, right?
Just about.
So
We're
yeah,
at
probably
2:02.
Yeah, but we, took a bit of time.
Yeah, but still.
Maybe it was because it was Sunday evening, but town was just as busy now as it had been earlier in the day.
If I remember correctly, to get outside, it was a right once I get off Oz Street.
She put her hand on the tower. I remembered the map as she looked around.
Right, that way.
Yeah, right!
I finally got out of town.
She made quite a few wrong turns, but she eventually found her way past the walls. She wondered if everyone lived inside the walls. Even though the town had been so crowded, the area around her was completely deserted.
She has completely forgotten everything that Kiria and Karamia said while looking at the map earlier.
That the only people who live outside the walls are the Wolfgang?
That's the forest Mr. Karamia and Mr. Kirie mentioned.
She took one of the 2 streets leading out of town. Once she got over a small hill, she could see a thick patch of forest. So she went over the river and through the woods.
Yep.
She was all alone and going to an unfamiliar place. She'd be lying if she said she wasn't afraid.
You can do this, Cora!
She made a fist and cheered herself on. With the breeze from the hill playing with her hair, she began to make her way into the forest. I am losing ability to read. The moonlight she'd been relying on earlier was now obstructed by the treetops. The leaves of the trees were in constant motion. Was it the work of beasts or just the wind playing tricks on her? Cora made her way further into the forest as her eyes acclimated to the darkness. It turned out that even through the canopy, the faint moonlight was still enough to light her the way. I am losing capability to read slowly. Brain turning to mush.
Uh-huh. I can see lamplight, and I hear voices.
I hear voices in my head.
Yep. But none of them can tell me what my actual name is.
It's Cora, duh. She didn't know who the voices belonged to because she was outside of the walls. It sounded like several men.
Because all of the characters seem to be pretty much men.
She turned around, startled by the voices behind her.
One voice.
By the voices.
Leader, do you mean Mr. Caesar? I came to surrender myself to Mr. Caesar. I want to save Mr. Axel. And...
A vulgar smile appeared on the man's face as he grabbed Cora's arm. He dragged her towards the lamplight. She was terrified and wanted to run. The grip on her arm was so strong that she couldn't get away. About 10 men were sitting around the roaring fire. Instantly, they stopped their drinking and merrymaking to stare at Cora.
してる。早速シーザーさんに伝えないと。リーダーは朝まで出かけるって話だ。ああ、そんなことを言ってた気がする。それじゃあシーザーさんに渡す前に俺たちが味見するって。
Whoa there.
やめとけやめとけ。生娘だったらどうすんだ。リーダーに八つ裂きにされるぞ。あいつと一緒に縛っておこうぜ。
Is Mr. Axel?
そう焦るなって。すぐに合わせてやるよ。
She was tugged along by the arm as they cut right in front of the bonfire. A skinned rabbit on a spit was cooking over it. The charred mass beside it had probably been a rabbit too. Once upon a time.
Once upon a time, this was a rabbit.
And now, it's charred.
It's a charred mass.
The smell of blood and burning flesh made Cora turn away.
ちっとぐらい構わねえんじゃねえか。なあ、ジョーちゃん。
A drunk man reached out and grabbed her calf as she tried to walk by. The sensation of his rough skin against hers sent a chill down her spine.
Please stop.
手を離せって。リーダーに殺されても知らねえぞ。おとなしくスラムの娼婦で我慢しとけ。そいつは勘弁だ。病気がうつったらどうすんだ。リーダーになぶり殺されるよりは病死の方がまだマシだろうよ。わーったよ。
She felt slightly relieved when he finally let go of her leg. Of course, she couldn't be completely relaxed in her current situation. All she could do was keep walking forward as the hand on her arm dragged her along. The rabbit meat cooking on the fire crackled and popped ominously. Meanwhile, just as Kyrie was about to step into the kitchen, the soldato stopped him. He told Kyrie that several reports had arrived before handing him a stack of memos.
That sure didn't take long.
Kyrie took the papers with one hand and dismissed his subordinate with the other. He leaned against the wall and glanced over the pages.
My, how selfish.
He put the pages in his pocket and then pulled the wine glass from the cabinet and poured himself some water. He wrapped the glass in a silk handkerchief to avoid getting his gloves wet. Okay.
Karamia, about the situation.
Dot. Nothing answered him but the sound of slow, steady breathing. When he walked over to the sofa, he found Cromie sleeping soundly.
How dare he?
Kyrie sat down on one of the sofa's armrests, taking a sip of water from his glass before pouring it over Cromie's face. Then he slowly tilted the glass over just above sleeping Cromie's head.
You were saying?
Whoa!
Good morning. If you keep falling asleep right after you eat, you'll soon become a rather rotund lion.
Why you? Couldn't you have woken me up a little more gently?
The only reason I didn't use tomato juice or milk is because I wanted you to think I was being conscientious.
Kyrie tossed the handkerchief he'd wrapped around the glass at Karamia. The Don used it to wipe his face off before glaring back at him.
Things appear to be moving as we'd anticipated.
I see. How does it look?
Can't say for sure yet. I'm sure I'll be able to figure something out with my capabilities.
I don't know what I'd do without you, Kyrie.
I don't either. Of course, I don't intend to kill myself over such matters.
Yeah.
おとなしくしてろよ。騒いだって無駄だからな。
Ow!
Why are you here?
I wanted to save you, Mr. Axel, but then they caught me.
What do you think I was buying time for? It was so you could get back to the mansion safely.
I know that, but both Mr. Kami and Mr. Kyrie said they weren't going to help you.
They weren't in the wrong. That was a natural decision.
Please don't say that. Aren't you all close friends? It's my fault this happened to you. I just couldn't stand by and do nothing. So I came to talk to Mr. Caesar. I was going to ask him to take me and let you go.
Did you really think you could just negotiate with these people?
Well...
You're an idiot. Can you not imagine what the...
Well, there's no the, but hell?
They might put you through?
I know everything's going to be okay. I was alone in the beginning anyway. 5 minutes before I tripped over Kyrie. Famiglia Oz has done so much for me. I just wanted to bring you home, Mr. Axel.
Guest. Tut.
Well, at least we get a full CG this time.
Yes. Of him tied up on the ground.
We don't see him tied.
Okay, but he's tied up.
I mean, yeah.
I do not approve.
Huh?
I protected Famiglia with all my body and soul. Those are the rules. Not only are you a guest, the Don instructed me to treat you as a member of the Famiglia. You are not alone. Can't say your actions were even remotely worthwhile, but I do appreciate the sentiment.
Mr. Axel.
Sounds like something's happening. Greetings. That campfire show looks nice.
お前はオズの
Oh no. It's the day of rest, so you better put those weapons down. I hear one of my subordinates and my dear guest are joining you by the fire. For both our sakes, why don't you just hand them over without making a fuss?
そいつは無理な相談だ。捕らえた獲物を逃がすほどウォールフガングは甘くねえよ。
I see. Well, I guess you leave me no choice. It's too late to change your minds now. Brace yourselves, little puppies.
Says a cat.
Meow.
グリムファミリーここに。
アンデルセンファミリーはここだぞ。
長靴ファミリーここに。
ハイジファミリーちゃんといるわよ。
Famiglia Oz, assume your positions. Surely even denizens of the slums are aware of the Sunday compromise. And it's not just some flimsy verbal promise. It's something that, when violated, brings some very severe consequences.
対象はマフィアだけじゃない。街中で発生する争いごと全てに適用される。
規律を乱す者は私が許さん。
アンデはアンデの新作の火薬が使えるならどうだっていいぞ。
アンデ
Wow.
森の中だから気をつけようね。
こんな夜中に何招集してくれちゃってんのよ。ペーター、さっさと片付けちゃいなさい。
So, Red Riding Hood is a boy. But there's seemingly A woman named Peter.
Okay. Okay.
It is precisely midnight. The day of rest seems to have come to an end.
All right. In the name of the compromise, eliminate these lawbreakers. Ba-ba-da-ba, we're free! Okay.
Ribbit.
解いて差し上げてください。
Okay.
That's so cute. Weren't you...
アンデルセンファミリーのコンシリエーでメリサスでございます。こちらは諜報員のロメオ。
And a frog named Romeo.
If you were here, does that mean those gunshots were part of the cleanup?
ええ。違反者はあなた様だけではありませんので。
Offender? What do you mean?
どうやら終わったようですな。
Yeah. Let's go, guest.
Guest.
Well, Axel has not called her by her name.
I know.
Axel picked his jacket up off the ground and put it over Cora.
Mr. Axel?
You don't want to see the corpses, do you? Axel put his hand on her back and started guiding her across the clearing. Even with her vision obstructed, she still felt the discomfort. The smell of singed flesh, a rusty metallic smell. The footsteps are clearly more numerous than she expected from the number of men she'd seen. She could hear the sound of tearing flesh and breaking bones. Pained groans, anguished wails. On the other side of the cloth was a world grayer and dimmer than she could have ever imagined from inside the town. Welcome back, Axel, Cora.
Mr. Kramia! Mr. Kyrie! You are extremely foolish for sneaking off into enemy territory without so much as a word. I'm sorry.
長靴ファミリー、死傷者及び負傷者なし。撤退する。
アンデルセンはすでに帰ったようだ。こちらも町へ戻る。
Good. Thanks for coming.
協定に従ったまでだ。では。
ペーターが2、3人やっちゃったみたいだけど、相手は犬っころの手下だし問題ないわよね。
Indeed. The Undertaker will handle it from here.
そう、助かるわ。てか助けたのは私なんだから助かるもクソもないわよね。帰るわよ、ペーター。
Okay then. Well, I guess all that's left is us.
Axel, you understand what you've done, don't you? ...
Axel nodded and then got down on his knees, his back still straight as an arrow.
Mr. Axel?
He showed no reaction to Cora calling his name, and instead just looked back at Kyrie.
Show some respect.
Kyrie kicked Axel's shoulder hard, knocking him down to the ground. Cramia pulled the pistol from the holster at his hip and pointed it at his Kappa regime's chest.
Mr. Kyrie?
Yeah! Stay out of this, Signorina.
But...
The moonlight streaming through the trees shone on Kyrie's back. Drawing his own pistol, he narrowed his ice blue eyes and took aim at Axel's brow.
Axel, explain why you're being disposed of.
Man. I violated the compromise and used a weapon.
Very good. Now, accept your sentence.
The sentence is I am a dum-dum.
Bang!
Well, now we're not going after Axel anymore. Bye!
Oh wait, we said we would stop after the scene. So
Yeah.
we'll leave it here.
At no.
That's it then.
Well, this is interesting so far.
I would say it's getting better, but Cora's extremely dumb. So.
I mean, I think voicing it kind of amplifies the dumbness.
Oh, yes. But also in general. Because remember, she is normally voiced. We turned her off.
That is true. That is very true. But I think like all the MCs just sound dumber when it's spoken out loud.
Yep.
Anyway, thanks for watching.
Thanks, everybody. Stay safe from the virus. Bye, everyone.